For as long as driving enthusiasts have been chasing lap times, an unspoken rule has dictated the terms of engagement. Speed demands sacrifice. The formula for extracting maximum performance from a road-legal car has always been a zero-sum game. You want stiffer cornering? Prepare for a ride that will shatter your dental work over a pothole. You desire ultimate aerodynamic grip? Be ready to live with a front splitter that scrapes on every speed bump. We have been conditioned to believe that a true track weapon must fundamentally be a miserable road car. However, the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3, equipped with the Manthey Performance Kit, exists to prove that this age-old compromise is nothing but an engineering myth. To fully grasp the magnitude of what this car represents, one must first understand the minds that conceived it. Manthey Racing is not a typical aftermarket shop turning wrenches in a suburban industrial park. Situated in Meuspach, Germany, just a stone's throw from the treacherous Nürburgring Nordschleife, Manthey is a motorsport juggernaut. With 7 overall victories at the Nürburgring 24 Hours and a staggering resume in the World Endurance Championship, their understanding of Porsche chassis dynamics is absolute. In fact, Porsche holds a 51% majority stake in the company. When Zuffenhausen needs to reclaim a lap record without re-engineering a car from the ground up, they hand the keys to Manthey. The canvas for their latest masterpiece is the newly updated 2026 Porsche 911 GT3, the 992.2 generation. The core of the GT3, the glorious, naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine, is completely untouched. It still produces a healthy 502 horsepower, it still wails to a spine-tingling 9,000 RPM redline, and it still channels its power through either a telepathic 7-speed PDK dual-clutch or a tactile 6-speed manual transmission. What Manthey brings to the table is an unyielding obsession with airflow, grip, and mechanical compliance, and they demand a princely sum for their expertise. The core performance kit commands just over $70,000 before taxes and a mandatory installation fee that hovers around $6,000. For the price of a brand new luxury sports sedan, Manthey adds 0 horsepower and sheds 0 weight. On paper, it seems utterly absurd. On the tarmac, it is a revelation. The visual transformation is dominated by an array of functional, motorsport-derived aerodynamic enhancements. The most striking, and perhaps the most polarizing, are the carbon fiber aerodiscs mounted to the rear wheels. Looking like props from a futuristic racing series, these spats are meticulously designed to clean up the turbulent air exiting the rear wheel wells. The standard swan neck rear wing is widened and fitted with a prominent gurney flap, while the massive end plates are curved inward to forcefully keep the air attached over the rear deck. Yet the true aerodynamic sorcery occurs entirely out of sight. Manthey's engineers have essentially weaponized the underbody of the GT3. The undercut turning vanes have been extended to a massive 59 inches, aggressively channeling air beneath a newly flattened trunk floor. This accelerated air is then violently extracted by a gargantuan rear diffuser borrowed directly from the track-only GT3 RS. The cumulative effect of these aerodynamic tweaks is a monumental increase in downforce. At high speeds, the Manthey GT3 generates nearly 1,200 pounds of invisible pressure, pushing it into the earth. The front axle alone experiences a 30% increase in downforce, allowing the driver to lean on the front tires with unwavering confidence through high-speed sweepers. But immense downforce is useless if the chassis cannot manage the load. This is where the Manthey kit transitions from brilliant to bordering on magical. In a modern automotive landscape dominated by electronically adjustable, hyper-intelligent adaptive dampers, Manthey strips all the computers away. They throw the factory adaptive shocks in the bin and replace them with a bespoke set of 4-way manually adjustable passive coilovers built by KW. Altering the compression or rebound requires you to physically get your hands dirty in the wheel arches. The spring rates paired with these passive dampers are completely counterintuitive to traditional tuning logic. Manthey stiffened the front springs by 20%, ensuring that the nose of the GT3 dives into corners with immediate razor-sharp precision. Conversely, they softened the rear springs by 7%. This allows the rear end to physically squat and dig into the pavement under hard acceleration, finding an immense reserve of mechanical traction as you power out of an apex. To ensure these components survive the rigors of track abuse, Manthey subjected the new dampers to over 1 million compressions on a testing rig, simulating 200,000 kilometers of brutal driving. The marriage of these aerodynamic and suspension upgrades yields devastating results against the stopwatch. The Manthey-equipped 2026 GT3 recently blitzed the Nürburgring Nordschleife in a staggering 6:50.863, nearly 4 seconds faster than its predecessor. But the lap time is not the main headline. The true miracle of the Manthey GT3 is what happens when you leave the circuit and point the nose toward home. The standard GT3 is a notoriously stiff automobile. It transmits every ripple, seam, and pebble directly into the driver's spine. The Manthey version, despite its vastly superior track capabilities, is profoundly more comfortable on public roads. The masterful valving of the KW passive dampers rounds off the sharp edges of broken pavement. It filters out the punishing frequencies that cause driver fatigue, transforming a nervous, hyperreactive track car into a remarkably compliant road car. It glides over mid-corner bumps with the poise of a purpose-built rally machine, never losing its composure or deflecting from its line. Naturally, this level of uncompromising perfection requires an equally uncompromising budget. If you succumb to the temptations of the options list, adding lightweight forged aluminum wheels that save 13 pounds of unsprung mass, braided steel brake lines, aggressive track pads, and illuminated door sills, the price of the kit easily eclipses $100,000. When factored into the base price of a 2026 GT3, the total investment breaches the $300,000 mark. Is it worth it? For the absolute driving purist, the answer is unequivocally yes. The 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 Manthey is more than just a collection of expensive parts. It is a paradigm shift in automotive performance. It conclusively proves that going faster on a track does not require suffering on the street. By abandoning the pursuit of brute horsepower and focusing obsessively on the harmony between air, rubber, and steel, Manthey Racing has crafted a masterpiece that defies convention, defies physics, and redefines what a driver's car can be.